Hello student, let us see after seeing river swimmer problem, rain umbrella problem in relative velocity. One more type of question is there, that is wind aeroplane problem. Now while a plane is flying in air, you will observe the velocity of wind changes the direction of the plane, or you can say two moving objects are there. One is wind velocity, another is plane velocity. Now when I say the air speed of the plane, it means that that is relative velocity of plane with respect to wind, that is represented by VPW, that is air speed of the aeroplane. Now that is nothing but relative velocity of plane. Now from the concept of relative velocity, we can write velocity of plane with respect to ground is velocity of plane with respect to wind plus velocity of wind with respect to ground. So this can be, this is sum of two velocity, relative velocity of the plane with wind and wind velocity. Now when you draw the parallelogram, or when you draw this with the vector representation, you'll be getting a triangle, and then you can use sine formula to get the values of unknown there. So let us see first, suppose I say a plane has to land in northeast direction. What does it mean actually? Suppose I say a plane has to land in eastward direction. Now it means a plane has to land in eastward direction means that is actual direction of the plane with respect to ground. So that is actual velocity of the plane with respect to ground. So that will be representing the VPG. Suppose I say plane has to land in southward direction. It means that is actual velocity of plane with respect to ground. That is not relative velocity. That is not air speed. So let us see. Suppose I will take few examples how we can draw the vector diagram for the velocities. Now let us see. A plane has to land in northeast direction. It means a plane has to land in northeast direction means this will be representing, suppose I say this is northeast direction, so this will be representing the plane velocity with respect to ground, that actually it has to land. Now let us say, if I say wind is blowing towards east. Now when I say wind is blowing towards east means if I draw from this place, wind is blowing towards, so I can draw like this, V wind with respect to ground. Or if I take on this side also, suppose back side, if I draw V wind with respect to ground. Now if you see the VPG, means velocity of plane with respect to ground, as VPW plus VWG, it means if I take this one, then if I join this, I will be not getting VPG. But if I join this one, suppose if I join this one, I will be getting, this will be direction of VP with respect to wind. Means the pilot will take the plane in this direction. Now what is this direction? I can say, if you draw the parallelogram like this, if you take in this direction, then this will be representing you the VWG, and this will be VP. Means I can say it will be alpha degree north of east. From this line, alpha degree north. Is it? The pilot has to take plane in this direction. Then only he will be reaching in northeast direction. Let us take another example. Suppose a plane has to land in north direction. Suppose I say a plane has to land in this direction, north direction. So this gives you the actual velocity of plane with respect to ground. Let us say wind is blowing towards west. Now if I say wind is blowing towards west, I will take either this will be representing the wind velocity with respect to ground, or I can say this might represent VWG. Now in which direction the pilot should take plane to reach in the north direction? Now if you see VPG is VPW plus VWG, so if I draw here, if I draw like this, suppose I join this one, then obviously you will observe VWG plus VPW is equal to VPG. But if you join this, that is not possible. So pilot will take plane in which direction? If you just complete here, right? This will be the direction actually. The pilot will take the plane. Now what is this direction? This is alpha degree, you can say east of north. Alpha degree east of north, I can say. Now let us take one more example. Suppose a plane has to land in east direction. Suppose I say a plane has to land in eastward direction. Then this will be representing velocity of plane with respect to ground, right? And wind is blowing towards south. Now if I say wind is blowing towards south, this may be direction of wind towards south, or I can take this as wind towards south, right? Now the sum of these two, PW plus VWG is VPG. So if I take this and this, if I join this one, then this may represent VPW and this will be giving VPG. So what is this direction? If you just extend here, this will be direction. I can say it is alpha degree east of north. If I take alpha degree, the pilot will take the plane alpha degree east of north. So this way you can draw the velocity diagram to decide in which direction the pilot will take the plane. Now let us take one question from A.C. Verma, that is one problem is there based on wind and aeroplane. So let us see how to solve that problem. Now what is that problem? This is question number 49 of A.C. Verma from kinematics chapter. 49th problem. What it is, let us see. What is 49th problem? Now a plane, this is 49th problem of SCV. 49th SCV, question number 49, SCV kinematics. That is wind aeroplane problem. Now what is this question? Up. An aeroplane has to go from A to another point B 500 km away due 30 degree east of north. Now let us draw the velocity diagram. This is north and this is east, right? An aeroplane has to go from A to B 30 degree east of north. So this might be representing, if I say this is 30 degree east of north. Now this is the direction in which the plane has to go, AB, right? In this direction plane has to land, right? Now this 30 degree east of north. Now this is 500 kilometer away, 500 kilometer, right? Now wind is blowing due north with 20 meter per second. Now wind is blowing due north. I can take wind here, due north, V wind with respect to ground is nothing but 20 meter per second, and this is V P with respect to ground. Then the airspeed of plane is 150 meter. Now airspeed of plane, that is relative velocity of the plane with wind, that is 150 meter per second. Now if you see, the pilot will take the plane in this direction, V P W, right? And then VPW plus VWG will be PPG. Now this is 30 degree. Let us take alpha degree. It takes east of AB. Now from this diagram you will observe this is 500 kilometer. VPW is 150 meter per second. So if you use this 30, this is 30. So question is in which direction the plane will pilot will take the plane. So I have to find out this alpha. Now I can take this triangle and say B, I can write B PW by sine of 30 degree, sine formula, sine 30 degree can be written as VWG divided by sine of alpha. So I can write sine of alpha is nothing, V, this is 20, this is 150, and this is sine 30, 1 by 2. So this gets cancelled, this gets cancelled.